Nah, it recorded once the call.
Come. All right, so due to some technical difficulties, we're not alive no more. We're gonna continue on the rest of the camp, which we're getting ready to wrap up shortly. How you call it? Just recording. Matter of fact, when you brothers want to come up, you got the last 15 if you want. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you, brothers. Come on down.
Look at what's that?
That's rock, cool.
Huh? Yeah,
you do a lot in 15 minutes, bro.
So, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart.
Right, that's the pride of America, man. America believes they're gonna be, ruling forever, man. That nobody's ever gonna take them down. All right, they think they're gonna continue, with their wickedness, have everybody enslaved through this micro C hip that they want to promote, and that's the pride of America. But America is about to be destroyed, man, by thermonuclear destruction. That's what's prophesied in the Holy Bible, man. But that's what the Lord, what it says in Obadiah, the pride of thy heart have deceived thee. Go ahead.
But it says in Psalms 49 and 11 about how the inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. So that's the mindset of Esau Edom. I know there's any regular Edomite out there, the mindset of the wicked elite of Esau Edom. Because they want their kingdom to just continue on forever, man. But that's their delusion.
Yeah, it's pretty much a delusion, man. Because you got they're talking about they're going to make plans for such and such to go into Mars and go into this, travel. That's basically their own delusion, really. Their own delusion.
That's their pride, man.
Yeah.
The pride of thine heart have deceived you.
Yeah.
Neither didst remember the latter end of it.
Right. They didn't know that they eventually gonna go. They're gonna go down, man. They're gonna go into slavery. Okay. That's what's going to be the end goal to Esau Edom. Okay. They're going to serve out captivity for 1,000 years, and eventually they're going to be done away with. You're never going to see an Edomite in the kingdom of heaven. All right.
Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that saith in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Yeah, they dwell in carelessly, in pleasure. That's talking about the people here in America. You people, all you do is consider you work your 9 to 5. You know what I mean? You don't really know what's going on in society because you're distracted by bread and circus. That's all that goes on. Entertainment. All right? But little do you know, this place is about to go down. So the Lord says he's going to come in as a thief in the night when you people least expect it. All right? Because a lot of you're distracted and thinking that this place, like it tells you, what's that, Matthew the 24th chapter, as in the days of Noah, you're going to have people that's going to be eating and drinking and giving in marriage all the way until the missiles come, man. So it's going to be the same way how it was during the time of Noah. Right now, well, we out here prophesying the word, same way how Noah was prophesying during his time. And the people, they didn't give heed to the warning that was coming from Noah, right? And guess what? They all got destroyed, but only Noah, his family, his 3 sons, and their wives, and his wife. Those were the only ones that were saved in that day. All right? This is the same Lord, right? The same God of Israel that's destroyed the whole earth, man. Okay? And only saved Noah and his family, man. This is the same power. This time it's going to be by fire, man. I'm talking about all of America is going to be destroyed, along with the state of Israel, man, the land of Israel. All right?
I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood.
That's right. The loss of children and widowhood. If you could get real quick, Jeremiah 50 and verse 22.
You know what else goes with that? Isaiah 13.
Gates of the nobles.
Not even that, where it says, read it one more time in Isaiah 47.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood.
Yeah, one day. It literally means one day.
Yeah.
Because when you go to Revelation
1 hour.
9, it speaks about one hour, one day.
Right.
That's the day of the Lord, the day of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Now this is Isaiah 13 and verse 17. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them.
These are the Russians.
Yeah. It says, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it.
Yeah, because that's it says it tells you that your riches.
What's that?
That says in that day, riches shall not deliver thee in the. I forgot how it goes. But it says basically, you know, in that time, you're not your money is not going to be able to save you. You know what I mean? You know, riches profit not in the day of their destruction. So all your riches saved up and all that's not going to be able to do that. Really, in that time, you know, as far as silver and gold, right? That's a thing of where eventually, you know, the new silver and gold is going to be in that form of that chip, because everything's going to go digital. But the thing is, as far as that being able to deliver you and save you in that time, it's not.
Yeah, there's gonna be like no negotiation seat when things actually reach a nuclear level between America and Russia, North Korea and China, so on and so forth.
Right.
It's gonna be all bets are off.
Right, that's it. It's going to be ultimate World War III. Man. You know, that's what is brewing right now before your eyes, man. That's why you're seeing things happening in the earth as far as, you know, America, you know, America beefing, especially with these NATO allies and you know, EU and shit. And you mentioned earlier, you know what I'm saying, behind the whole ownership of Greenland, you have these other nations from the European Union and NATO. At one time, you know, it's prophesied that they're going to basically the beat shall hate the whore, and that's going to also be a form of World War III. Not only America's going to have, you know, war with his enemies, but also their allies, ones that, you know, touch with Obadiah, the one that
the Confederacy
with the those that you could get that real quick. I don't want to butcher.
Obadiah 7. Because America's they're gonna go too far.
Yeah.
Like even for instance, them going into Iran, that's like a major play in terms of World War III when they go into Iran.
Yeah, because that you gotta understand that Iran is not Venezuela.
Exactly.
They could just run up in Venezuela and you see how they did. They snatched up Maduro. You ain't gonna be able to do that because guess what? Iran also has nuclear capabilities. They might make it to the world that they don't have no nuclear weapons, but even if they don't, they still getting aided by Russia and China.
Which with Maduro, a lot of motherfuckers sold out. A lot of people sold out Maduro because they say a lot of the air defenses didn't work. I mean, you know, you could buy a nigga cheap, man.
Right.
See them Iranians and shit, them motherfuckers, they really believe in that. You know what I mean? That stuff, Islam and stuff like that. Because part of their religion is talking about, like, they call America the Satan, they call Israel little Satan, and part of their doctrine is to destroy the state of Israel. And you know, niggas down there in Venezuela, they give them niggas a couple million. Them soldiers, they gonna sell out, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what really happened with Maduro, man. A lot of men sold out.
Yeah, that could be a thing of they probably orchestrated that to happen. You know what I'm saying? For him to be taken so they can, you know, basically destable Cuba too. You know, because they want to. Because right now, even with Mexico, America is basically telling the president of Mexico, listen, don't do no dealings with Cuba, because if you do any dealings with Cuba, next. You know, next. So basically now, you know, which the president of Mexico, she's an Amalekite, and you know what I'm saying, she feeling the pressures of that too. So you know, so they're all like, you know, what we gonna do next? So we're in a time of war, man. A lot of tension is brewing.
Yeah, during the Mexican elections, just a side note, a lot of the people that ran for presidency of Mexico, because obviously she's not Mexican, they were assassinated.
Right.
You know? And she ended up getting into office. That's how Esau does, though. He sets up them crypto Jews and puppet leaders and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, to get up in there in office.
I got that Obadiah.
Okay. Get that. Verse 7.
It's the book of Obadiah, verse 7. And all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee.
Right, that's talking about America and their allies. Eventually it's going to be to the point where America is going to do something that's going to piss these different nations from the EU and NATO off. All right? And eventually they're just going to be against America. Okay. Read on.
And prevailed against thee.
And prevail against him. So eventually they're going to prevail against America. You know?
So let me read this again in Isaiah 13 and 17. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Meaning they're not going to be able to buy their way out of this destruction.
Exactly. Because at that time, like we were bringing out earlier, was that Ezekiel 39th chapter, when he goes into, you know, the Lord says he's going to put an evil thought in the minds of Gog and Magog, you know what I mean, to basically shoot missiles on America. You know, that's the link up, you know.
It says, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces.
Which is talking about those missiles, those ICBM missiles. They ain't gonna have, you know, they're not gonna be worried about the little children here in America. You know, when it's wartime, when that time happens, all right, you think Putin or whoever's in position to shoot those missiles over here, man, they're not gonna be worried about the people over here in America. Okay?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, we quoted it, Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart, meaning the king's mind, is in the hand of who? The hand of Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
So Yahweh Shai is going to be controlling the minds of these various different prime ministers and presidents and their generals to actually push that button, man, that nuclear button, to shoot off those nuclear missiles upon America.
And that's why, you know, you might hear things, you know, be hot 1 minute and then cool down the next, because it's all according to prophecy. You know what I mean?
And
it says in what's that, 2nd Esdras, the 4th chapter, it said by measure, he measured the time. You know, by, you know, it's really the Lord's movie. You know what I'm saying? He has to have prophecy play out in a certain way. You know, you can't have World War III before the RFID microchip, the MOTB, is implemented throughout the 4 corners of the earth. That has to be made mandatory first.
In Revelation 7, it speaks about the 4 angels
holding
not
back,
being allowed to bring about this destruction.
right.
Until the 144,000 are sealed
In their foreheads.
in their foreheads.
Absolutely.
That's another reason why we're out right now.
Yeah.
Because that sealing is still taking place.
Right.
You still have elect members out there that need to get this truth, that need to obtain that thawat, for why you read about in Ezekiel 9 verse 4, the mark, you know, those that are going to be exempt from this coming judgment, man.
Some of them are still very young.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you know, and the thing is, what's so crazy, because you were speaking about it earlier, right now is a actual block on YouTube out there in Russia.
Oh yeah, I seen it.
You know, Russia, right now, they don't have no YouTube. They don't have YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp.
That's wild.
So all you jakes that's living in Russia, you know, that's it. You can't get the word. You can't get the word. So it's showing you that we're close to the famine of the word, man. Amos 8 and 11. And that's going to eventually come here to America. All right? You're not going to be able to hear this word, man.
Yeah, you better take heed, man. The fact that we haven't been out in about a month, that was all spiritual. The Lord actually didn't, well, you know, a couple of those days, because it was too brutal. Like the snow was coming down, it was too cold. But there were certain days, man, you know, we
Right.
could have still come out, man.
Spiritual. You know?
And we proved ourselves, man. We've been proving ourselves all these years. The
Yeah.
Most High said, all right, you know,
Yep.
now I'm gonna show these people something.
Yep.
Yep.
See the sister that usually passed by here, she passed by, she was all smiling and
happy.
shit.
She was
They
happy to
out
see
here,
us.
oh my God, they here. You know?
You know,
You like him.
Yeah, usually when we out here, she just walk by.
Every
really,
day.
She don't really interact or nothing, but she seen us and that's how these people gonna be, man. They ain't gonna see that. They gonna be looking for us. They gonna be like, yo, what?
They're gonna be coming out consistently
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
look.
yeah.
They should be
That's how
crying
it
for
is.
wine in the streets.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, let's
That's right. So we're gonna wrap up with that. You know, Lord willing, we'll be out here next week. All right. We want to end it off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kakadash.
Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect.
Shalom to the elect.